to do with courts and corruption. It is with that story that a story linked to that that we start, and it's in Mpumalanga, where the ANC Member of Parliament Bongani Bongo's criminal case has been postponed. The former State Security Minister and others are facing corruption, fraud and money laundering charges. He appeared briefly in the Nelspruit Magistrates Court in Mpumalanga this morning. The charges relate to alleged dodgy land deals amounting to hundreds of millions of rand. eNCA's Kailihle Khumalo is following that story and joins us now for an update. So the case being postponed today, Kaya, locate us on the timeline. Where does it leave us? What happened today and what is the postponement all about, and when are we back in court again?
Well, that's right, Chilisizwe. So very short proceedings here at the Magistrates Court. So now it's been moved to the 10th of January 2022. So quite a number of dates as well have been set for the trial to commence. But we do have Mr. Bongo just to get his immediate reaction here. So, sir, thank you so much indeed for your time. Well, Ayla, you were saying this matter has been dragging for 11 years and once again a postponement.
No, thank you very much. Like you have said, we're inside court. What it is said is that they are finalizing charges. So between now and next year, January, they will try to come up with those charges. But we remain resolute that there is just no case. This is just a mere abuse of state institutions in favor of those who think that they are ruling.
And who's behind that, advocate?
I'm on record that when I'm done with these cases, I would then come back to you and let you know where did it start and where is it going to, and let's wait for that time. I think between now and 20 and January, we're going to apply for what we call representation, because there's nothing that links me to this alleged crime. Nothing whatsoever that links me to this crime that they're saying was committed. So we'll do representation, and after which we'll apply that it must be struck off the roll, because it will appear to me there is no case. I've studied all the documents, indictments, and there appears to be no case against anyone who's involved in this specific case that were brought in here for.
And obviously, advocate, you're a very senior member of the governing party. The ANC is currently looking at the step-aside guidelines. So for you, what's your take on that? Do you think it would be premature if you step aside, or are you going to continue with all the positions that you hold, including the chairship in Parliament for Home Affairs Portfolio Committee?
We have an NEC that is starting on Saturday. It is going to deliberate on this matter. But you know, my position was and still is that the rights in the Bill of Rights were fought for a period of not less than 82 years, between 1912 and 1994. So you can't just tremble with those rights. The Constitution clearly provides that anyone is innocent until he is proven otherwise by a competent court of law. So for our organization to think that we must be punished because we have been brought into court, I think is to prejudge and to punish people even before courts pronounce themselves. So I think we'll have to do things in line with the Constitution of the Republic. I have, to this extent, appealed this decision that was taken by the NEC. I'm sure my appeal will be entertained on Saturday, after which we'll have to look at other options, including approaching a court of law to have this thing dealt with differently, because rights of people are being encroached with. And when you come here into court, they tell you that the charges are not ready. Like you have heard yourself, they are not ready. The state of readiness of the case, you can't even determine it, and our rights are being dealt with. So we will have to have courts also pronouncing themselves on our rights.
And Mr. Bongo, are you one of the accused who are calling for the bail conditions to be relaxed? Or do you believe there has been a plea that has been made for the relaxation of the conditions of the bail?
You will note that I'm charged with Schedule 1. I'm not part of the realization of bail. I was just given a bail. Schedule 1 means that it's a trivial crime that you don't need to put conditions of a bail. So I'm not part of those accused people.
And maybe just briefly say on other matters, on the hats that you once wore as State Security Minister, we really saw a very startling revelations by the Inspector General of Intelligence, Dr. Dintwe, where he went as far as saying that you abused your political power in the office and making all kinds of allegations against you. What did you make of the testimony?
I hope that the Zondo Commission must also call me to give my side of the story. But the only time I met Dindwe, it was when there was a complaint against him by the DG, the then DG at the phrase, that he collided with a state vehicle 4 times under the influence of liquor. So I was dealing with that case. That was the only time I met him, that he has an alcohol problem. So that's why they're always fighting with the former DG. But other than that, he does not understand oversight, because he always believed that when the Arthur Fraser go to Burundi to do some work, doing oversight is to follow Arthur the following week to do oversight. And I said, that's not how we conduct oversight, and we've got to do things differently. Because you'll note that my brief from the President Zuma, as he then was to go and make sure that I stabilize that institution. And to the best of my knowledge,
And did you succeed?
Yes, I did, because the first thing that I needed to do, everyone was acting in the department. So I have appointed the entire senior management team so that they can start to work and give certainty to the organization. So fortunately or unfortunately, the term was very short, but we lived up to the mandate that we were requested to do. And we have run the department with the integrity that it deserved. And I have a strong belief in the leadership of the then DG at the Fraser.
All right, so thank you so much indeed for your time. This, of course, Advocate Bongani Bongo. He just came out of court. And of course, they're talking about a number of issues that he once dealt with. We saw a testimony before the state capture inquiry. So just the other issue of interest for your viewers, Tila Caesar, but also most importantly, his case now and other 10 accused has been moved to January 2022, and he's not really pleased about that particular move. They are planning to push for the matter to be struck off the roll.
Wow, Kaya, that interview with Bongani Bongo there. Wow. Some real, bombshells being dropped. For instance, what he had to say about the DG of State Security, Sitloma Maru Dintwe. Some of the pronouncements there, I suspect that we might want to give the DG a right of reply there. That might be something that we might want to do to knock on that door. But also the confirmation that he's mulling the possibility of taking the ANC to court over this step-aside policy. Kaelihle Khumalo, thank you so much for that reporting from Nelspruit there. You heard it here first, the ANC's Bongani Bongo saying that actually the possibility of going to court over the ANC's step-aside resolution and the subsequent guidelines that have been mapped out by the party, actually that's a possibility that he might go to court. It's all gotten so convoluted around this issue of the step-aside policy. At face value, it's very clear. It was a resolution from 2017 from the conference of the ANC. You can quibble about, whether it was advisable or not for them to have a resolution that talks about people who are accused or implicated in corruption, needing to account to the Integrity Commission and needing to step aside before processes play out. That's a separate debate, but the truth of it is that this is a resolution of their own conference. Branch delegates were always told, Amandla Semasebeni, the power is in the branches, but here we are today. They are quibbling over that nearly 4 years after they resolved on those issues, and it looks like it's headed for the NEC meeting that will be held this week. And Bongani Bongo says legal action, ANC versus ANC, is not impossible in this situation.